The story of Batman Arkham Knight takes place after the events of Arkham City, and with the death of the Joker, Gotham City seemed to have entered a new age of peace and stability. But underneath it all, Scarecrow was able to unite a portion of Batman's rogues gallery, and with the threat of a new fear toxin and the aid of a new adversary known as the Arkham Knight, who brings his own militarized militia army, was able to force the citizens of Gotham City to evacuate, leaving only Batman, his few remaining allies, and the Gotham City Police Department to have to contend with the criminals who now have complete control over the city. With what is undoubtedly the Dark Knight's greatest challenge, using all the tools at his disposal, goes on a one-man war in an attempt to stop Scarecrow's new fear toxin, bring down all the criminals that get in his way, and discover the identity of the Arkham Knight, who seems to have a personal vendetta against him and will stop at nothing to kill him. As a massive Batman fan, I'm happy to say that the overall plot to Arkham Knight does provide a very well written conclusion to the Batman Arkham series, and there were several twists and turns that I did not see coming, including the return of a certain famous Batman villain and how he was used that was played out really well and worked with how Batman was actually reacting to certain situations. However, that said, the main plot did suffer from a series of problems that have been presented in previous installments before, both with the pacing of the story and how specific characters are written and portrayed. The reveal of who the Arkham Knight ended up being I found was very disappointing, as Rocksteady themselves promised that the Arkham Knight was going to be an original character, which ended up not being the case. And finally, the ending did feel a bit underwhelming, with it leaving several questions left unanswered, though this could be fixed with the release of the future DLC story packs, giving up more plot information taking place before and after the events of Batman Arkham Knight. In conclusion, Batman Arkham Knight to me feels like the Dark Knight Rises of this particular Batman series. It's an okay way to end this particular franchise, but it could have ended on far better terms. For anyone who has played any of the previous installments in the Arkham series will feel right at home here. This open world sandbox game has you take control of the Dark Knight once again, and you will have free range to go just about anywhere you want at any time. Most of the previous gameplay functions have returned, and to my experience they really haven't changed much. The combat has been slightly updated, making your transition between opponents much smoother, as you can use punches, kicks, dodges, and special takedowns to defeat your opponents. You can also incorporate the use of your gadgets, which can all be upgraded into your combat attacks to perform powerful combos. However, a small addition that has been added to your basic combat format is the use of dual control between Batman and his allies. In specific side missions, in the middle of combat, you will have the ability to switch between Batman and his allies, and you can also perform devastating team takedowns. However, the biggest addition to the gameplay that really makes Arkham Knight stand apart from its predecessors is the introduction of the Batmobile. The Batmobile, in my opinion, was my favorite way to travel around Gotham, and it can be called to you from just about any position on the ground. The addition of the Batmobile also provides some of the much more harder and challenging gameplay elements, and if you find yourself engaged by the Arkham Knight's tanks and drones, the Batmobile has the ability to transform into its battle mode, and using your expert marksman skills and the ability to maneuver around the battlefield to fight off waves of weaponized vehicles. The Batmobile is also used in great effect to help solve challenging puzzles and take part in a series of specialized racetracks set up by the Riddler himself, and there are even a series of stealth tank battles requiring you to maneuver your vehicle behind your opponent without being spotted. Boss fights both with and without the Batmobile keep the gameplay fresh for a majority of the main 12-hour campaign, for which after you are done with the main campaign, we'll have plenty of side missions that will certainly add a few more hours to the gameplay. Challenge maps have also returned, which will test your reflexes and timing in order to receive the highest scores, which can also be shared amongst friends. In conclusion, the Arkham series has had a tradition of making you feel like you are the Batman, and that is certainly continued here. Though I really do wish we could have seen more of Batman's detective skills, which was an element that was much better incorporated in Arkham Origins, that doesn't stop this game from being an awesome Batman experience well worthy of its name. With the Arkham series coming to a conclusion, being released on the current gen seems to be a great way to show off what the current generation systems are capable of, because this game is gorgeous to look at. The city of Gotham has so much attention to detail that you could literally lose yourself in its vastness. Over the course of the game, you will notice that the city of Gotham will change significantly, reflecting upon your actions during the main campaign. The animations within the gameplay move seamlessly, that at no point did the game ever crash, or did I notice any sort of frame rate issues, from the ripple effects of the air passing through Batman's cape as he glides through the air, to the wind effects that you see with your car passing through the streets of Gotham at high speeds. It's also a nice touch despite the fact that the main population of Gotham has been evacuated, leaving only the criminals to wander through the streets, that the city still feels very lively. There are plenty of conversations between criminals talking about events that have happened in previous installments and sharing their opinion on your actions as the Batman, along with several Easter eggs and references to other key characters from the DC universe, possibly hinting at what the next great superhero series could be. Now on to my final thoughts. Batman Arkham Knight is without question the best game that I've played so far in 2015, and is certainly a worthy contender for the Game of the Year. Now, if I have any real minor issues with the game, it really has absolutely nothing to do with the gameplay, which I have heard from several other people that the Batmobile drives funny, and all I can say is I really have no idea what's wrong with your car, but in the several hours that I was driving the Batmobile in both car mode and battle mode, it ran like a dream for me, so I don't know what to tell you. However, an issue that I do have with the game is a number of the story arches and twists I really don't think was really all that rewarding. And one plot twist in general was promised by Rocksteady was going to be epic, and that really just didn't end up being the case at all. And I really dislike how Rocksteady has handled their current DLC content. Now, the DLC content that actually came with my limited edition, I really don't think was really worth the extra money, and now that I've had a chance to play through my own Harley Quinn DLC story pack, and get a chance to see a playthrough of the Red Hood story pack, I'm really concerned of whether or not I even want to pay the extra money to play these extra story packs, seeing how short they might all end up being. But that doesn't stop this from being a truly amazing game, and a game that I think any Batman fan would truly appreciate and love, which is why I'm going to give Batman Arkham Knight an 8.5 out of 10. A must-own for any serious Batman fan or simply a fan of great games. If you like this game review, free to like, comment down below, and please subscribe to check out my future game reviews. And like always, thank you guys for watching, you're awesome, and I'll see you next time.